Ja, ik ben er al. Ja, ik wou even kijken waar je bleef. Ik wou even kijken waar je bleef. Ah, oké. Ja, het is nog niet begonnen, dus... ik denk een mannetje of 5. Te weinig op, maar... Ah, oké. Nou, we zullen het zien. Goed zo, goed. Zo blij dat dat niet gebeurt.
Geen idee wat te zijn, maar ja, dat was niet mij. Maar toen ik ook niet, ik zei ja, laat maar doen. Ik kwam hier net nog de printer brengen. Het is een best wel gebeurd, maar het is niet zo fijn. Het is ook netjes geweest. Alles foto, maar hij is niet zo het is nu pas houden.
Dat is niet de enige. Dus het was wel. Maar goed, dat was een beetje de sfeer. Ik weet niet zeggen. Maar dat is wel weer leuk voor 15 minuten. Volgens mij wel.
Zou je het nou doen? Ja, dat is zo.
wait one more minute? There are still some people on the way, at least one of them. She said she'd be here in 1 minute.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we can wait 1 minute, that's no problem.
It's such a shame that there are so few people at the moment.
Yeah.
It should be crowded.
Yeah, it should be.
At least you are here.
Yeah.
It's makkelijk.
I'm hurrying up, they're starting. Feel under pressure.
But you have the exam tomorrow.
No, just the preparation for the practical. You don't even if you don't pass it, then you don't do the practical.
No, good.
Kost me weer €3.
Hoi, ik ben Juri.
Van de meter.
Ja, dat was waar jullie op wachten.
Nee, ja, ik dacht het wel, maar dat helemaal niet.
Ah.
Hij wacht op iemand, nog iemand. Komt zo wel weer van.
Okay. Well, we'll start. More people come. They can just join. Welcome to all of you to this. Tonight, at this Basta evening, we have the pleasure of welcoming Sara Dattori. She's Italian, but she came to the Netherlands to study here. She's doing a master in international land and water management. And she went to Palestine to do her thesis research there about water conflicts. And she has recently come back. Well, she's bringing back a lot of experiences from there, from her research. She's also traveled to Gaza. So we are very happy that she's with us here tonight to share her experiences with her. And as well, we are going to try to talk to Hussein, a journalist in Gaza, but we hope it will work.
Yeah, actually,
we'll be able to connect.
we were supposed to call him tonight at like here 9:30 time, 8:30 in Gaza, but unfortunately there is electricity cut off, like from 8:30 until 12, and also now he's at home, he's not in the office where there is a generator, so unfortunately now it's not aligned anymore. He was before, but now it's not. So we'll see if he's able to get on and so we can talk with him. So actually I wanted to start with my research, but I will start with Gaza and like a little bit of history on the situation, the previous work since the 2006, and then I will talk about my research and also about an Italian like a project that was implemented by an Italian NGO in Gaza. So thank you for being here. So here I will say that I'm going to talk later about the project that has been implemented in Gaza by this Italian NGO. And I will start with the latest effect of the Gaza attack. Yes. Oh, yes. Can you see it?
Perfect.
Okay, so I don't know how much do you know. So Gaza is located in in the east side of the Mediterranean coast, and it borders the south with Egypt, and the north and the west with Israel. So in Gaza there are 1.7 million of people, and is one of the most dense populated area in the world. Moreover, we can also say that like the average age is really young, so it's around 28 years old. And in Gaza, I had the opportunity to go there 2 times. Once before the last attack in November, and the other one just afterwards. And it was really interesting seeing actually both sides. So before the attack and then also after, how the people they react to this attack. So a little bit of history. In 2006, there was Hamas won the election in Gaza, and before of it, like the West Bank and also Gaza was ruled by Fatah, that is the political party that was also in the past, the head was Arafat. So in 2006, the Hamas won the election, but the European Union and also United States didn't recognize them. They recognize Hamas as a terroristic organization, so they start to cut off all the economical aid than before they were sent it to Gaza. And also Israel start to increase or to really create a big blockade on it, and this affecting all the life of people in Gaza, economically, socially, also with the natural resource control. Another important date was actually the war of 2008-2009, Cast Lead. Actually, it was from the 27th of December until the 21st of January. And it had a lot of people, they died in Gaza, around 1,400, a lot of civilians. And actually there is also an undergoing, it's not really clear, I mean a lot of humanitarian aid organization, they actually been studying the fact that they were using chemicals, bombs, like white phosphorus. And in fact, you can also see if you go there, a lot of people that they were directly affected, in particular a lot of children that they get born after that they were born after the attack. So this video, I would like to show you this short video that is is a reading project, and this was made by Vittorio Arrigoni. I don't know if you know about him. He was an Italian journalist. Vittorio Arrigoni was an Italian journalist that he was inside Gaza in 2008. He arrived in 2007 with the Freedom Flotilla, and he was killed in April 2011. It's not clear who actually all the process and why he was killed, but probably he was criticizing both Hamas and also both Israel, so it was actually not in a nice position. Anyway, when there was the war, he was there and he wrote this book, or maybe this article, and it's called Stay Human. So this is his mother that is reading loudly the first chapter of this book.
27 dicembre 2008. Guernica in Gaza. Il mio appartamento di Gaza dà sul mare. Ha una vista panoramica che mi ha sempre riconciliato il morale anche quando ero affranto per la miseria a cui è costretta una vita sotto assedio. Prima di stamattina, quando dalla mia finestra si è affacciato l'inferno. Ci siamo svegliati sotto le bombe oggi a Gaza e molte sono cadute a poche centinaia di metri da casa mia e molti miei amici ci sono rimasti sotto. Siamo a 210 morti accertati finora, ma il bilancio è destinato a crescere, una strage senza precedenti. Hanno spianato il porto e raso al suolo le centrali di polizia. Mi riferiscono che i media occidentali hanno digerito e ripetono a memoria i comunicati diramati dai militari israeliani, secondo i quali gli attacchi avrebbero colpito chirurgicamente solo le basi terroristiche di Hamas. In realtà, visitando l'ospedale di Al-Shifa, il principale di Gaza City, abbiamo visto dei corpi distesi nel cortile, alcuni in attesa di cure, la maggior parte degni di sepoltura, decine di civili. Avete presente Gaza? Ogni casa è arroccata sull'altra, ciascun edificio è posato sull'altro. Gaza è il posto al mondo a più alta densità abitativa, per cui se bombardi a 10.000 metri di altezza è inevitabile che tu faccia una strage di civili. Ne sei cosciente e colpevole. Non si tratta di errore, di danni collaterali. Così, bombardando la caserma di polizia di Al-Abbas, in pieno centro, è rimasta coinvolta nelle esplosioni anche la scuola elementare lì a fianco. Era la fine delle lezioni e i bambini erano già in strada. Decine di grembiulini azzurri svolazzanti si sono macchiati di sangue. Durante l'attacco alla scuola di polizia Dair al-Balà si sono registrati morti e feriti nel souk vicino, il mercato centrale di Gaza. Abbiamo visto corpi di animali e di uomini mescolare il loro sangue in rivoli che scorrevano lungo l'asfalto. Una Guernica fuoriuscita dalla tela per trasfigurarsi nella realtà. Ho visto molti cadaveri in divisa nei vari ospedali che ho visitato. Molti di quei ragazzi li conoscevo. Li salutavo tutti i giorni sulla strada per il porto o la sera, mentre camminavo verso i caffè del centro. Diversi li conoscevo per nome. Un nome, una storia, una famiglia mutilata. La maggior parte erano giovani, sui 18-20 anni, per lo più non schierati né con Fatah né Hamas. Semplicemente si erano arruolati in polizia una volta finita l'università, alla ricerca di un posto di lavoro sicuro in una Gaza che sotto il criminale assedio israeliano vede più del 60% della popolazione disoccupata. Mi disinteresso della propaganda. Lascio parlare i miei occhi, le mie orecchie tese allo stridio delle sirene e ai boati del tritolo. Non ho visto terroristi fra le vittime, ma solo civili e poliziotti. Soltanto il giorno prima li prendevo in giro per come si erano imbacuccati per ripararsi dal freddo. Vorrei che almeno la verità rendesse giustizia a queste morti. Non hanno mai sparato un colpo verso Israele, né mai lo avrebbero fatto, perché non era quella la loro mansione. Si occupavano di dirigere il traffico e della sicurezza interna, tanto più che al porto siamo ben distanti dai confini israeliani. Ho una videocamera con me, ma ho scoperto oggi di essere un pessimo cameraman. Non riesco a riprendere i corpi maciullati e i volti in lacrime, non ce la faccio. Non riesco perché piango anche io. Sono andato a donare il sangue all'ospedale di Al-Shifa insieme agli altri dell'International Solidarity Movement e lì abbiamo ricevuto la telefonata. Sara, una nostra cara amica, è rimasta uccisa da un frammento di esplosivo vicino alla sua abitazione nel campo profughi di Jabalia. Una persona dolce, un'anima solare. Era uscita per comprare il pane per la sua famiglia. Lascia 13 figli. Poco fa mi ha chiamato da Cipro Tofik. Tofik è uno dei fortunati studenti palestinesi che grazie alle nostre barche del Free Gaza Movement è riuscito a lasciare l'immensa prigione a cielo aperto della striscia e a rifarsi una vita altrove. Mi ha chiesto se ero andato a trovare suo zio e se l'avevo salutato da parte sua come gli avevo promesso. Titubante mi sono scusato perché non avevo ancora trovato il tempo. Troppo tardi, è rimasto sotto le macerie del porto insieme a tanti altri. Da Israele giunge una minaccia terribile. Questo è solo il primo giorno di una campagna di bombardamenti che potrebbe protrarsi per 2 settimane. Faranno il deserto e lo chiameranno pace. Il silenzio del mondo civile è molto più assordante delle esplosioni che ricoprono la città come un sudario di terrore e morte. Restiamo umani.
Can you send the link of the video after the event? Yeah, sure. I will. Yeah, actually, it's like in total, I think 17 chapters, and they are now like read by different person. Like for example, Nam Chomsky and also other people. Wonderful. Yeah, it's really interesting because it was there for all the periods, so you can really see in each chapter. Yeah.
We can put the link on the website of Gaza.
So the last attack was the one that happened in November, and it started the 14th and then in the 24th. Was different from the previous attack from Castellide. First of all, because actually it was the first time compared to the previous one that also international people that were inside were allowed to stay inside, and also newspaper and journalists were allowed to go freely and having their pass and go inside. Also was a little bit different because there was not so much bombing or so as the one of Castellide, but still there were a lot of civilians that died. Like the reason actually why they did it, it's obviously there is not only one reason, and it's also a little, there are different opinion about it, but probably like one of the arguments is that obviously with the nearby election, Israeli election, Netanyahu in some way wanted to use like the Gaza another time as a propaganda for his election. Also, they wanted probably to see which kind of weapons within Gaza and which kind of reaction Hamas had it. And third, in some way, we can also say that this war was also a training for probably what is another argument regarding the Iran, what they were saying in these months that I was there. I mean, if you were looking at the Israeli newspaper, there was always, like most of the time, in the first page something regarding a possible war with Iran. It was really interesting being there, as I was saying before the attack and after the attack. Gaza, and it's really a special place, I would say, in a way that you have 1.7 million of people that they are like in an open cage, they cannot go out, they don't have, they are under pressure in all the sphere of their life, but at the same time they have also a strong humanity and a strong reaction to the life. If you imagine like the day after the ceasefire, the 24th, people were celebrating in the street, and also this war, compared to the previous one, made Hamas in some way stronger. Also the popularity of the population, both in Gaza and in the West Bank, get really stronger. This video that I'm going to show you now is a series of pictures of one Italian photographer that was there, and it's like a series. Maybe it's my dad. I was saying that it's like a series of pictures that were took both in Gaza after the ceasefire, but also within the West Bank during the attack. It was really interesting because we were thinking that there was kind of third intifada inside the West Bank, like place like Bethlehem, like the refugee camp, Hada and Deisha, they were really, there was a big resistance, like youth that were throwing rocks against the wall, against the Israeli military, the military that they get inside to the refugee camp, Ramallah demonstration in the closed village nearby the wall. It was really, like from inside, it was really, yeah, you were really thinking that it was the beginning of a new intifada. At the end, it was not like that, and this is, yeah, all the picture about it. And if you have further questions, you can ask me.
Really?
Light reflects from my shadow. It is more than I thought could exist. You move through the room like breathing was easy. If someone believed me, they would be as in love with you as I am. They would be as in love with you as I am. They would be as in love with you as I am. They would be in love, love, love. And with words unspoken, silent devotion, I know you know what I mean. The end is unknown, but I think I'm ready as long as you're with me. Being as in love with you as I am. Being as in love with you as I am. Being as in love with you as I am. Being as in love, love, love.
Yeah, we should have a Skype connection with Hussein. But if you have before any question about this part, you can ask me, or in this case also to Hussein. But I don't think that for the people that they were not here before, Hussein is a young journalist that is living inside Gaza. But unfortunately, there is a problem with actually, there is a cut-off of electricity in Gaza all the time, and in particular, like there is also scheduled tonight, but so it's not possible probably for him now getting connected because he doesn't have electricity at all. So if you have questions, you can ask me for this part. Yes.
Can you tell me if there is any improvement since the war? I mean, so the Israeli, the appointment was the Israeli will ease, you know, the boycott of the borders to make it easier to go in and out. Did you notice anything about that?
Look,
after the war?
Yeah, after the war, actually what it really touched me, it was really, like, in some way, yeah, surprising, is that, I don't know, for us when there is a disaster, natural disaster or something, there is like long period of time for us to recover, while for them, like the day after, they were all in the street, and people were really like starting again to their normal life. But probably it's also because it's like it's so normal for them, like having this kind of firing, bombing, not all the time, but let's say that it's inside to the normality, that their answer to the life is like much stronger than the one that we are get used to it. But regarding your question, no, I didn't see any like particularly easygoing. Actually, one thing was about the fishermen, for example. because with the ceasefire, one of the agreement was that they actually, okay, in the normal situation after the blockade in 2006, fishermen in Gaza, they are not allowed, I mean they should allowed to fish until 15 miles, but they are only allowed 3 miles, and now they extended to 6 miles. And actually, in fact, the first day after the ceasefire, there was they called the fish truce, because in some way fishermen they could go also further than the 3 miles. But in reality, also from some friends that they are from the International Solidarity Movement there, they said that they arrested fishermen anyway. They yeah, the situation like symbolic like practically didn't really change. Maybe only the first 2 days they were allowed to go until 6 miles, but then after the third day they just kept going. And also it's the same for the farmers. Farmers, they are not allowed to cultivate anything from like 300 to 500 foot buffer zone. So there is like a wall that is separating Gaza to Israel, and the piece of land that is between the wall and is going inside Gaza is they are not allowed to cultivate them. And even if, I mean, and actually they are the most fertile field.
And what about the borders with Egypt? It's more open than before?
Yeah, it's more open. They have some particular regulations. So, for example, for children and women, it's easy to go out. They need always a permission, but it's like easier. And but for men, like between 16 and 50 years old, I think it's yeah, it's harder. They need they need a further permission, work permission. They need to do more bureaucracy paper in this case.
The 6 miles you were referring to, is that part of Palestine?
Sorry,
The 6 miles, because you were saying before they were allowed to go 3 miles. I mean the
yeah,
border.
it's, I mean, it's internationally, from the international law, it's also like the piece.
Because from Israel it's 12 miles, and in Palestine, Gaza, it's 3 miles, and 3.5 miles out there's a very important oil refinery that is in the hands of the Israeli government, and this is really why they forced that 3 mile border. So have they changed that from 3 to 6? Or?
From the ceasefire, what I know is that they changed it from 3 to 6 miles.
Okay.
But then what I was telling you before is that in reality there was not, I mean, they didn't allow fishermen to go further than 3 miles anyway. But yeah, Morsi, and I mean, he was the one that actually made in some way the agreement between Hamas and Israel. He put one on this condition, but at the end it was not realized. It was not put in practice. Okay, if there is not more questions, I'm going to check again if Hussein is online. So the second part is about the research that I did in the Jordan Valley, in Palestine West Bank, and is about the relationship between water and people regarding water and in agriculture, and also I look on how like I did the comparison between 2 Palestinian villages and 2 Israeli settlements in the Jordan Valley, and I looked it up like on the consequence for people regarding the accessibility for water in agriculture. So sorry for all this video, but I think it's also nice to show this one as a little bit of background regarding like water as a political contested resource, or how actually Israel, also since its creation in 1948, it was able to use the water as a tool of control, to keep the control over the land. So pretty much this is like the background situation regarding water in West Bank. But regarding my research, as I was saying before, I compared two Palestinian villages and two Israeli settlements regarding the accessibility to water for agriculture and the effect of it on the people's life. I look also, so as I was saying, the impact of water accessibility on people livelihood, the effect of power relations on water accessibility, and the last one, the struggle, or actually the strategy that water users they are actually using to deal with this water-related issue. So here we have the West Bank, that is where they are located 2.4 million of Palestinians. As you can see, actually the area after the 1985 and the last Oslo Agreement, Palestine is divided in 3 areas. This is important because you will see later for the research findings. In area A, B, and C. So area 8, in this case, they are with the red spot, red color, and they are controlled by the Palestinian Authority. So they are the main cities such as Ramallah, Nablus, Hebron, Jericho. Then we have area B, that is both Palestinian and Israeli control, and in this case is this, I don't know how to call this color, green, yellow greenish. And then we have the white one that is controlled completely all by the Israeli civil and military control. So my research area is the one here, like in this map you can see Jericho, so it's in the north, and I compare Nairan, it's El Oza and Nairan, I brought Nairan again, and Fazail and Tomer. Tomer and Nairan, they are 2 Israeli settlements, while El Oza and Fazail, they are 2 Palestinian villages. So this is another video, but I don't know if you are bored of video, I can also go further and speak, just tell me. No? Just go for it. Okay. It's actually showing how, like, it's a nice video made by a Palestinian human rights NGO, and it's showing if they interview both Fazail and El Oza, like farmers, and how the water shortage and the water situation changed in the previous year, and what is also the reaction of people on this situation.
أنا ب67 كنت بالسكان برد الأول سنة. هربت تسمع عني هرب وظنيت.
كان عدد سكان الأغوار الفلسطينية حوالي 320,000 نسمة. اليوم بعد حوالي 43 سنة من الاحتلال عدد سكان الأغوار الفلسطينيين حوالي 56,000 نسمة.
فأصبحنا يعني بعضهم بعتقد إنه بدأ أسميها قرية منكوبة نتيجة سرقة مياهها بشكل كامل.
بدين على يدوا علينا، كل نهار يدوا علينا، والمستوطنين على الشوارع واقفيننا، وأقول للشباب من العالم منهم كلهم مستوطنين العالم، من الجيش العالم، من الشرطة العالم، وكل صغيرين العالم.
The Jordan Valley is home to dozens of Palestinian towns, villages and Bedouin communities.
This area is the last reserve of land in the West Bank, of which it comprises over a fifth of the territory. It stretches over almost 1,200 square kilometres of the west bank of the Jordan River, from the 1949 armistice line in the north to the Dead Sea in the south. Over 56,000 Palestinians live in the Jordan Valley in around 30 communities, shown here in red. There are also 9,400 Israeli citizens living in 34 illegal settlements, shown in purple. Israel has targeted this area with specific policies designed to gain control over the land and forcibly displace the civilian population.
أنا ب67 جبت من سكان بردلة وساجة وما هربتش مع اللي هرب وظليت فالحريق هذا شردني ظلينا احنا قاعدين اللي شرطوا زلزين وظل زلزين مش ظلوا هون رحنا جبناهم من الجبال ومن الغاية.
قبل 67 كان عدد سكان الأغوار الفلسطينية حوالي 320,000 نسمة. اليوم بعد حوالي 43 سنة من الاحتلال عدد سكان الأغوار الفلسطينيين حوالي 56,000 نسمة. يعني بعد 43 سنة عندنا أقل من ربع السكان. هذا واحد. إسرائيل منذ اليوم الأول في ال6 شهور الأولى للاحتلال بدأت بمصادرة الأراضي وإقامة المستوطنات وتشجيع المستعمرين على القدوم للإقامة في منطقة غور الأردن.
Since 1967, when Israel occupied the West Bank, plans to take over the Jordan Valley were set in motion and executed through legal and administrative changes introduced by countless military orders. The so-called Allen Plan was developed with the objective of redrawing the borders of the State of Israel to include the Jordan Valley and West Bank Desert within the territory of the state, leading to the establishment of the first Israeli settlement there in 1968. The intention to keep the Jordan Valley under Israeli control has been expressly stated by different Israeli prime ministers throughout the years. In 1995, Prime Minister Rabin declared that the security border of the State of Israel will be located in the Jordan Valley in the broadest meaning of that term. In 2010, Prime Minister Netanyahu confirmed the intention when he declared that Israel would never agree to withdraw from the Jordan Valley.
هذه قرارات حكومية، قرارات حكومة الاحتلال. 70 دنم من الأراضي الزراعية مجانية أيضا لأي عائلة تقرر القدوم للعيش، عائلة يهودية تقرر القدوم للعيش في مناطق الأغوار. مياه زراعية، مياه شرب، كافة أنواع الخدمات الأساسية من صحة ومدارس ومواصلات واتصالات، بل بالعكس الشركات الخاصة التي أعطيت إذن أو ترخيص للعمل في إسرائيل ملزمة أن تقدم خصم يصل إلى 75% للمستعمرين في الأغوار نتيجة لظروف الحياة التي يعتقدون أنها ظروف حياة صعبة.
من 30 سنة كما كانش المستوطنات هذول بالكمية هاي ولا كانت الزراعة عند اليهود بالكمية هاي وكانت المية متوفرة وين ما جيت تلقى مية. النبع يعني العودة كان شغال، النبع فصائل شغال، الديوك شغال، الويحة شغال، كل البيار مليانة مية، كل وين ما جيت تلقى فيه مية، بس اليوم فيش، يعني العودة قاطعة فيش فيها مية، سحبوا ميتها، وعلى الفصائل سحبوا آخر مية ضايلة فيها، وعلى الديوك سحبوا ميتها، وفيش مية، ما خلص ولا شيء، والآن أخذوها، وبنوها مستوطنات، ومش زي وضع اليوم، وضع زمان كان أحسن. وبعدين ما كانش ضايقوا زمان زي اليوم كل يوم الثاني كل الجيش عندك. هاي هسه في الجبال هاي تستدر قاعدين. هاي في الليل على يدوا علينا وفي النهار يدوا علينا والمستوطنين على الشوارع واقفين لنا وكل الشباب نعاني منهم من المستوطنين نعاني من الجيش نعاني من الشرطة نعاني من كل يعني من كل إسرائيليين نعاني.
To enforce its grip on the Jordan Valley, Israel uses many methods to appropriate the land and water resources, which are then allocated for use solely by the settlers. Today, the built-up areas of the Israeli settlements, together with the land cultivated by the settlers at the expense of the Palestinian population, amounts to almost 10% of the area of the Jordan Valley. In addition, Israel has designated almost 60% of the Jordan Valley as closed military zones and nature reserves, areas where Palestinian access and development is forbidden. Furthermore, subject to the Oslo Accords, 90% of the territory of the Jordan Valley is classified as Area C, and as such is under full Israeli civil and military control. This control extends to the land administration and planning, which Israel uses to implement further restrictions on Palestinians for the benefit of settlement expansion. In addition to dramatically reducing the land and water available for the Palestinian population in the valley, Israel employs other methods to force the local population to leave the area. Israel prevents Palestinians from establishing any infrastructure or implementing development projects in the land remaining after Israeli colonization. These restrictions force many people to build without a permit, despite the inevitable risk of demolition. As a result of Israel's illegal practices, the communities living in the Jordan Valley have limited or no access to either services, such as education and health, or infrastructure, including water, sanitation, and electricity infrastructure. Consequently, they are regarded as priority groups for humanitarian assistance. Moreover, these communities face a number of daily challenges, such as restricted access to land for grazing and agriculture, tightened restrictions on access in and out of the Jordan Valley, violence from Israeli settlers living nearby, and regular harassment from Israeli soldiers.
أنا كنت من سكان العوجة، ساكن في راس عين العوجة، عندي غنم، كنت عايش من وراء الغنم، التنظيم ما جاء علي وكل فترة بيجي بيهد عندي وبيهددني إن لازم يحمل الغنم عندي، فانجبرت أرحل من العوجة وطلعت على منطقة المغير، برضو الحقنة المغير هو نفس التنظيم، بعت الغنم ونزلت على منطقة فصايدها، نزلت في 2007 هان. برضو أول أسبوع الثاني كان جاي علي برضو قال لي أنت كنت فوق في المغير وهيك جاي هان، قلت له أنت بدك تظل وين مطير تلحقني؟ وين أروح يعني؟ في المغير لحقتني وفي العوز لحقتني وهي وفصايا هي اللي لحقتني. قال لي بدي أهدي البيت تبعك، قلت له وقت ما بدك إن الله يزال. بعد فترة هيك عدى يمكن شهرين ثلاثة أجى علي ونحن نايمين، الصبحيات بدري أجى، والولاد نايمين ما شافوش البيوت والجرفات قايمة قاعدة.
While the Palestinian population is deprived of basic human rights and forced to move away, the settlers in the Jordan Valley enjoy a high standard of living. Their irrigation-intensive farms mean that the valley is the most relentlessly exploited of all Palestinian territory. This produce is largely exported to the EU and the USA from factories in the Jordan Valley, built almost exclusively for Israeli exporters with the assistance of the Israeli government.
فكانت هي المناطق قريبة من نهر شط النهر نتيجة وفرة المياه ونتيجة الأراضي الخصبة فيها مئات الدولومات، وفي عائلات تملك أرض هناك وتسكن هناك، كانوا يعتاشوا منها بالزراعة وتربية الحيوانات الحيوانية، بالإضافة أنه كان هناك مضخات مياه تسحب مي من نهر الأردن غربا لري هاي الأراضي. هاي المناطق للأسف بعد 67 أصبحت خالية من السكان نتيجة أنها هي منطقة عسكرية مغلقة يحظر على أي إنسان يدخلها مش بس يعيش فيها. فبالتالي خسرنا هذا المصدر من الإنتاج النباتي والحيواني. العائلات الموجودة اللي تعيش هناك هجرت جزء منها إلى شرق نهر الأردن، جزء إلى غرب نهر الأردن. خسرنا مصدر مهم من المياه مما أدى لتصحر هاي الأراضي كلها. تفاجأنا بالفترة الأخيرة أنه نعرف من الناس اللي بيشوفوا أو من التصوير الجوي أنه هاي أراضينا اللي صودرت أو منعنا عنها كمنطقة عسكرية مغلقة هي تزرع من قبل المستوطنين.
عند دخول الاحتلال طبعا صاروا الإسرائيليين المياه وهربونا على إنه ممنوع تسحب من البير أكثر من 95,000 كوب، وهذا الرقم تقريبا لا يروي تقريبا بحدود ال 50-60 دونم من المساحة الإجمالية. حاليا المستصلح من الأرض تقريبا بحدود 150 دونم. طبعا هذا كله صار في نوع من الهجرة من الأرض من السكان الموجودين اللي كانوا يعملوا بالزراعة واتجهوا للمستوطنات بيشتغلوا كعمال لقلة المياه أولا، وثانيا لقلة المصدر اللي هو المعيشي لهم، لأنه طبعا الزراعة نتيجة الاحتلال صار في عليها عوائق كبيرة من ناحية تسويق، من ناحية أدوية، من ناحية أسمدة، من ناحية كذا.
مش فقط نهر الأردن كانوا بس على الشاطئ، لا المنطقة الغربية فيها العوجة، عين العوجة اللي هو أكبر ينبوع في فلسطين، بحيث كانت قوته تصل ل 2000 كوب بالساعة، كانت تسمى نهر العوجة. كانت تزرع كل أراضي العوجة اللي من غرب السياج وبزيد مياه، والمياه الزائدة بتروح على النهر طبعا. كانت عندنا العوجة مشهورة جدا، كانت بتشكل سلة غذائية للضفة الغربية بالموز والخضروات. لكن بدأت هاي الينبوع يخف تدريجيا نتيجة حفر الآبار الإسرائيلية اللي بتروي مزارع المستوطنين. هاي الآبار عملت بجانب الينبوع العرجان بحيث أثرت عليه بشكل مباشر، وضخ المياه إلى أراضي أخرى أراضي حكومية بيستخدم المستوطنين، أدى اليوم إلى أن تطلع المياه صفر لا يوجد مياه. فأصبحنا يعني بالعوجة بعتقد إنه بقدر أسميها قرية منكوبة نتيجة سرقة مياهها بشكل كامل.
According to international law, both the settlements and the economic exploitation of the occupied Jordan Valley for the sole benefit of the occupying power are illegal. Human rights organizations, including those operating inside Israel, agree that urgent action is needed from the international community to counter Israel's policies in the Jordan Valley. However, until the day comes, Palestinian farmers and their families will be left fighting for their existence against policies designed to systematically drive them from their land.
So this was in some way an introduction to my case study area. So now I will go a little bit in depth the case study. So the first case study is about Nairan and El-Oja. So Nairan is an Israeli settlement, but is also a kibbutz. So as in some way a special status. While El-Oja is the Palestinian village just nearby, and is famous because it has this spring that in the past was flowing a lot of water, and in particular it's really special and it's really important because they were all this area of the Jordan Valley, in particular El-Oja, were considered the banana land. So they were producing a lot of vegetable and fruits. We would consider really the basket case of Palestine. So I went I stayed before, I spent almost 1 month in El-Oja, and then I moved myself in the kibbutz of Nairan. I was there with a fake identity, and I went there with couch surfing. So I stated to them that I was going to look at the water techniques in agriculture in Israel, and I was interested to look at their agricultural land. So in Iran they live this new kibbutz, new settlement. It was created in the 90s, and now they are living around 80 members, and they are all pretty much young. They are linked with this new kibbutz idea. They call it the new activist kibbutz, and most of them they are part of the new leftist, new Zionist leftist movement. So Zionist from one side and left from the other. So it's really interesting. It was really interesting being there, talk with them, but also looking at their agricultural land. So they are managed together, and the governments give to them for free this land. That is there is like road 90s, as you saw before in the maps, and just they have these 97 hectares. Between these plantations, then they have greenhouses where they are producing vegetables, and moreover they also planted olive trees there. They can use as much water as they want, and obviously they have to pay for it, but still being subsidized by the Israeli government. They are using fresh water coming from El Oja spring, from the wells that they have been drilled in the last 20 years around the El Oja spring, and also for example for the date plantation they are using wastewater coming from East Jerusalem. And I'm saying East Jerusalem and saying wastewater because I think it's really interesting. I asked them about, I call it controversy, so I have been asking to the people that were living in the kibbutz. So why do you feel like there is this controversy, international law recognize this area actually as a Palestinian land, so maybe you're actually, in which position do you feel regarding this case? And it was really also, most of them, they actually were critics about their government, so they are against their policy, but in this case they said that they wanted to create some way of cooperation with the Palestinians. They want to create both common management of the plantation with them, but they were not able to realize it. So it's, it's a little bit strange actually, but at the same time it's also, I think, important to see both sides, not only seeing, I was happy to see both the Israeli part and also the Palestinian. This is, I think it's interesting, this sentence, because it shows how much living in a kind of society where you have been growing up with some kind of idea and also instrumentalization, propaganda. I would say you actually are really convinced that this is your land and you should stay on it. And you are also, in this case, promoting the fact that they are using water in an efficient way, so they are in some way helping also all the world to use the water in an efficient way. And here we have El Oja. Okay, there are lots of numbers regarding water and regarding its land. But what is important, El Oja, as I was saying, is a really nice Palestinian village. They live around 4,000 people, 5 big families, and they always been in agriculture. They love agriculture, they really attached to their land, and also the people that I had the privilege, I would say, to interview, they still living there because they want to stay in touch with their land, and it is, it's really tangible. You can really feel it when you talk with them. The situation regarding water. The El Oja spring, where they were taking the water for agriculture, before was flowing water all year round, and they were producing like banana. That is one of the crop that is the water requirement is really high. It's one of the highest. Now the water is flowing only 4 months per year, and a lot of farmers, they are now ex-farmers, and they don't have, I mean, they try to obviously change with the crops that they have less water requirement, but still the situation is, yeah, it's really, I would say, dramatic, because they have, what can they do? They don't have other choice than most of them, they just go to work in a nearby settlement, where sometimes, where actually they've been exploited and they've been also low paid. So yeah, around the Ozo Spring, they also been drilled 6 wells, and 5 of them they have been managed by Mekorot, by the Israeli private company, while one is actually with the Palestinian, managed by the Palestinian Water Authority, and is bringing water from there to Ramallah. So we see that there is obviously a problem of power and hydro, I would say, the asymmetry, hydropower asymmetry between Israel and Palestine, but we have also like local powerful actors that they also have states to say within the community.
Do I understand it right that the Palestinian Authority is supplying water to the kibbutz there?
No, Ramallah, I said.
But how do the kibbutz get the water there?
No, the kibbutz is getting water from
not from the Palestinian Authority.
No, from
Palestinian company.
All Israeli kibbutz in the Jordan Valley, but also the Palestinian community. They actually, all the water nectars and the water is brought to the village from by Mekorot. Mekorot is the private company. Mekorot. That's Israeli. Yeah, only one well that is around El Oza Spring is pumping water to Ramallah. That is one of the Israeli, one of the Palestinian town.
And at what price? Which price do the Palestinians have to pay for the water? The same price as the Jews?
For the drinking water or for agriculture?
Both of them, both.
Okay, so the Israelis they pay a little bit less compared to the Palestinians. In Iran, I don't really remember the exact. If you want, we can look after. I wrote it in my thesis. I don't remember because it's in shekel, so I have to. So 6 shekel is €1. So they pay 1.3 shekel per cubic meter, the Israeli, for agriculture. Yeah, I think it's 1.3 for an Iran plantation for agriculture. While for drinking water is 4.3 shekel for 4.5 in Iran. That is the Israeli settlement. While for the Palestinians for drinking water, all the Jordan Valley village, they decided to not pay for water. So actually, it is the Palestinian Water Authority that pays Mekorot. It's really interesting. So it's like a form of resistance or a reaction against.
Did you also hear something about the Holy Sepulchre, the priest there? Also, they never paid for the water there.
Sorry?
So the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, there was an agreement with the Palestinian Authority and with the Jordanian Authority that they didn't need to pay for the water. And some weeks ago, I was reading something about that.
That they are a big debtor.
Yes. Did you, what's the result now? The situation?
I don't know. I mean, it didn't follow.
You say the people, the Palestinians in the Jordan Valley, they decided not to pay for the drinking water, but then the Palestinian Authority pays Mekorot for the materials.
In fact, they have a big debt.
So they are paying or they are not paying?
I mean, they are supposed to pay, but they don't have now, like in the last year, what I understood, the economic situation is not really good, so they didn't have the money to pay. But like, let's say that in the last, they started I think 5 years ago, so in the last 4 years, so the Palestinian Water Authority, the Palestinian National Authority, they
So the locals don't pay, but it's a national Palestinian entity that pays. On the ground is quite different.
And I also asked to some farmers, to some of the interview, what is for them like a water right and how do you define it. And I think it's really interesting because you can really see how actually for them life is really linked with and water is really linked with life and with agriculture. That is food security. That means for them pretty much everything in this area. So the second case study is about Fazail and Tomer. Fazail is a Palestinian village, while Tomer is the nearby Israeli settlement. In Fazail they live around 1,000 people, and they were relying as well on agriculture. There is a nice spring in Fazail, and also around it they were drilled 4 wells, which they are all managed by the Macron company. They still to have also in Fazail some wells, but they were built up before 1948. But yeah, most of them they have like really they cannot pump any more water because they cannot, because Fazail also is in Area C, so they need to ask for the permission to the Israeli for getting the rehabilitation of it. So most of the water is or they cannot pump it, or when they pump it, it's poor quality. So also here the hectares that they have permanent crop, it's really almost like nothing, it's really few. And also the water, I mean the change of water flow in the spring changed a lot. And according to the people that I interview, I mean the main cause that they said it's because of the presence of these Israeli wells. Nowadays, most of the people in Fazail rely on the livestock, but still there is one guy that is actually from one of the richest family in the area, and he's actually able to, in some way, I didn't really understand which is the process, but probably he has his rich and he's able to corrupt the Israeli in some way, because what also the measure of the town and the other farmer told me is that he has still to have, is the owner of the major part of the land and also of these wells that still pump water, and he had the opportunity to open these agricultural cooperatives and to have actually a nice possibility of income of it, where they can also, where they are also working with some of the Fazail villagers, while the majority after they are not farmers anymore, but they are working in the nearby settlement. So this is another sentence of Samir, and yeah, also he's really stating the importance of, I mean, the change of that he saw in his town during his years. Tomer is an Israeli settlement, as I was saying before. It's really 200 meters nearby to Fazail. There is the residential area, and then there are a lot of agribusiness, greenhouses, and also then after the road 90s, so the land that should be closed military zone, that is closed military zone for the Palestinians, but that is being used for date plantation for the Israelis. So here, yeah, they have a lot of hectares of land that is using to cultivate and is being irrigated. And also here I didn't really get any kind of information, because they that's what was also nice, because while in Iran they gave me all the information, in Tomer they didn't want to give me any information, because they were telling me that there are a lot of Europeans that they come there and then they use the information to put them in a wrong position. So in this case, I didn't have any permission from any Israeli university to get this information. But obviously what I saw with my eyes, and what also I had the opportunity to go around with Mohammed, that is one Palestinian guy that is living in nearby village, but that is working in the settlement, and he showed me all the greenhouse, all the days plantation, and obviously there is any problem regarding the water availability or accessibility. They use drip irrigation, and they also use wastewater in the days plantation. And this is, this woman was my couch surfer. She was hosting me, and this is, was in some way one strong statement for my community. Actually, what I also found in Tomer, compared to Iran, people, they were not really happy to talk with me, they didn't want to. And people that they are living in Tomer, most of them, they are working as manager or as secretary or in some way, in some employment position with agribusiness. And they seem really curious to be in this land. So the fact of people living for the Palestinian community, as I said before, we are poor health condition, unemployment, food insecurity. There is a lot of people that, some people that they migrate, other people that they are working in settlement, a lot of kids that they had also to abandon school to go to work, because I don't know, I don't know if you know, but the Arab families sometimes they are really big, so you have a lot of children. And from the other side, instead I saw that there is, in the settlement there are provided every kind of service. As I said before, there are a lot of subsidies by the Israeli government, and they have also a nice swimming pool in the summer. Also the kibbutz advantage. And yes, there is a high profit by exporting vegetables and fruits in Europe, in US, all around the world. So power relations. What I can say briefly is that yes, there is a power asymmetry between Israel and Palestine, and Israel is using the control over the land and the water to control the area, or in this way to make people withdraw from the area in a way that they can control everything. And they do it by claiming, for example, that is for security reasons, or they doing it by saying that the military, by creating this military zone or natural preserve zone. But in reality, it's they are really make hardish the conviction to Palestinians. From the other side, we also see that the Palestinian National Authority has still responsibility, because it's really an important strategic area. As I said, it's really fertile, and it could be the basket case for Palestine, but they never really raise their voice in order to protect or to help the population there. There are these power asymmetry at the higher level, but locally I also see that there are powerful actors such as in Fazail, that they actually are rich, they have power, they have money, and they are also able to have their water and to have their money. So it's not only a higher position between Palestine and Israel in general, but it's also, we see that there are power relations and powerful actors also locally. So what is struggle? I don't know. One of my assumptions was that in some way, like these people that they rely for all their life on agriculture, and that now they don't have anymore like their main source of income for living. They were in some way have a stronger reaction against this situation. But what it was actually really interesting to learn from them is that yes, they did it in the previous year, a lot of legal action also in El Oja, like the previous measure, made some demonstration, they get around their spring, they get around, they get together around the Israeli wells, and there was also sometimes some direct military confrontation. But at the end, they did once, they did three, and these people, at the end now, I feel that they are really hopeless in some way. They try every kind of way, legal, not legal, whatever it is, and no one was actually really listening to them. So now the people that are still there and they did not migrate, I think that just by deciding to live in this condition, to go to work in the settlement, anyway, they don't have other choice. So their decision to stay there is a way of struggling. Yeah, if you want to have a small break, or I don't know, if you have any question before to do the last part, you can ask.
What do you think about the boycott of agricultural products from the West Bank? You have been there. Do you support that for 100%? Having been there.
I think it's very interesting because there was a lot of campaign about boycotting products coming from the Israeli settlement in Europe and also in the US. But then you see that, for example, in Palestine, people they prefer to buy Israeli products because they think that they are higher quality, and also the one in the settlement. And so you say, that's pretty interesting. Because maybe I think it's working here. I think it's important to, in this way, even if it's small, even if it's we don't have a big impact at the end of their economy. But
They start changing the label now, right?
Some countries, South Africa, or also UK, they actually change the labels. So they actually write down exactly if they are from the settlement or not. Also to distinguish if they are from Israel or from the occupy from the settlement.
Would you like to continue now to the last part, or you want to have a 5-minute break? Okay, so yeah, let's take 5 minutes and then do
it's really small the last part.
Yeah? Okay, but then we can still have some questions and discussion.
Met een minor conflict studies. Ik doe nou uiteindelijk een master conflict studies in human rights.
Dat is vroeger ook
Wat ik over doen?
Lijkt me ik heb zo'n hetzelfde vak ook. Leuk. Want dit is wel spannend. Tot goed je bent, man.
Ja, nee, tuurlijk. Verslagjes schrijven of zo.
Maar het is gewoon nodig.
Ja, maar ik vind het leuk. Je moet jou straks maar zeggen op Facebook.
Ja, klopt.
Ik ben niet zeer pro-Palestina per se. Ik denk dat ik ga wel gewoon dus dan kom je hier, dan zit je hier goed. Wat dat betreft. Maar jullie doen vaker dat soort dingen, of niet?
Nou, voor mij is het sinds de afgelopen paar maanden pas dat ik echt zit met
Esco, ik pak even op. Yes.
We can send it to Sophia.
Because we could
Yeah, actually, I don't know because I didn't want to shoot like it's not so easy like for the final.
Did you anything about I saw a sticker about the number of people they making the worker working the prisoner?
Yeah. There's
so I always wanted to do it in Italy. Never managed to do it really now.
There's AGN, AGN, Nijmegen, and they have ABC, Electricity Cross. It's yeah,
because we had something
prison solidarity one. So that's a right thing.
But it's because like the content there. I mean, I know I can go. Yeah, but I know exactly the content.
Nice people.
So it's correct. So who get you?
Info station last year is the direct nobody there were all people about 40 totally abstract.
Alle verhalen met je ja, precies. Algemeen en zo.
Ja, nou,
Political what?
Political.
Ja, maar daar had ik al vaak over gehoord. Plantages van de lijkbomen die dan gewoon worden.
Like political parks.
That's about that I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought there was a thing that was a lot around.
Yeah, probably not radical left.
What? We were always talking about people that reality.
Dat zelfs volgens zijn eigen wet weer is gegaan.
Maybe it's just a generational thing.
Yeah, exactly. That was there was this girl from Germany. And then organized
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I didn't. Yeah, I've never heard of them. They don't come outside the Latin, probably.
Yeah. Well, did you see something when the lady is other something around there is a whole other Turkey
At info center, we don't have this video. No, I have no idea.
I wanted to keep you in the picture, but I thought...
But they weren't new either. They weren't new.
I think so. I wanted to keep you guys in the picture when you were moving, but I thought I shouldn't touch it because you arranged it quite neatly.
Maybe a place like this. This is also
Yeah. I will translate. Actually, it's nice because that, like the
background?
Is green? Or the background is from like a Palestinian girl, that she's like, she really loves to draw, paint, but like the style is actually from this like a Palestinian guy that he was pretty famous in during the second Intifada, but he got killed and she was living with him, so she kept going to, like, she kept in some way, she wanted to go into this style.
De twee jongens waren prima aan de voorbereiding gepakt. Op een gegeven moment waren in principe in geval allebei de gevangenis afgevoerd. Je kan het verhouden helemaal echt waar. Zo wat gebeurde.
Zei je wat er eigenlijk
we komen naar binnen, familie weg in huis, we moeten 4 jongens er heen, toen aangekomen
the last occupation, I think there was too much resistance in the world.
Like during the second Intifada?
Yeah, the last the week from.
No, the last, during the Gaza attack.
Yeah.
That's like around the world.
Yeah.
I also think it was really, I would say, the action, people they get indignados.
I think it wasn't planned to do it short.
Yeah, actually no one was expecting these words.
No.
And also people, there were a lot of international Gaza at the moment, and it was nice because when you were reporting lots of international direction from that direction, but at the same time, Gazawi, because they're living in Gaza, there was also international people that were working there, they were not expecting something. And Israel, by the way, is really in a bad position. Bad guy.
Yeah.
Get out, not as a they consider it as a for them. Like, for the Palestinians, the people that are living in Gaza, for them it is a big thing, because they actually very good
Ja, dat het waarschijnlijk uit... Ik kan wel een stukje zijn verleden zijn opgegeten door Trimmel. Ja, lang binnen.
Sorry.
Okay, I think everybody's downstairs again, so let's continue with the last, well, very, very little part, and then you can still have some time for questions. Netherlands to Sarah.
Pak er nog lang van dat je zegt.
Okay, this last part is about the project that has been implemented by an Italian NGO for the chief, and it's about the trying like psychological support to children and their family that they were exposed to war trauma in this year in Gaza. So the main activities and the beneficiaries of the project were located in Jabalia, that is in the north of Gaza Strip. As I will say, like the main and aim of the project is the psychological support for the children and their family. And these children and the family, they were all affected, or they were injured, or they get directly involved in custody, the war of 2008-2009. So there are like four main activities that they did. In first way, they trained the capacity of the animator and also the psychologist, and the activities that they were able to make was to train the trainers. So before, they actually had also, they worked together with a Palestinian NGO and also with some psychologists from the Gaza hospital, and they were able to to sustain this way or to promote and have the long involvement of the people by train some psychologists and train the other groups of volunteers, and this one will train other groups as well. The second one is the psychological support for children and family. They create in a lot of Jabalia's area this game room. So they were rooms that they were not used, they were abandoned, and they create with the local material, with the recycled material. They made a lot of workshop for children. Also, they create some workshop and some also class to literature support for the mothers of these children. And the last one is actually made awareness to social workers, family, and the local community regarding the protection of children. And this one is also like a series of pictures and about all the activities that were made with these children. This project, they are part of a 6 months emergency project. In this case, was financed by the Italian Foreign Ministry, and it was written by people that they are working. They're working in Gaza since 5 years, and also in collaboration with the Gaza NGO that is working in particular with children affected by war traumas. I think it's important because like the first thing that you notice when you're in Gaza are the children, and it's like really full of them everywhere. I don't know, in Italy it's not really common to see this, but I think also here, and you can really see the life. It's really showing a lot with them. But in this case, like also like the war and all this pressure that this population has been undergoing in all this year is affecting them like interiorly, and in particular children. It's not easy to elaborate or to really, like when you are under the bombs and you cannot escape and you cannot go nowhere. There is like it's so random the death that maybe you get really a lot of link to the life in a really special way. And I think that for children it's more stronger because like you get to know for the first time in your life that your parents, that they are the one that should in theory protect you, they cannot do it in that case. So it's important, and I think, I'm really critics. I study international development, and I think that Palestine and the West Bank is full of humanitarian aid. I think it's like there are a lot of NGOs that they do the same project, and there is not really the aim to understand and to talk with people to understand what are the real needs for them, and not from the FAO guidelines or whatever it is. I think that this kind of project, they are the ones that in some way they really near the people, and they are trying to in some way solve, or not solve, but dealing with this problem that for the people recognize as a problem. Because we talk with a lot of mothers, and after this also last war that was only 1 week, children, and not only children, because adults we are able maybe to cover and to forget to elaborate our suffers, but for children, like children that they don't sleep, they lost their hair, they have strange reaction, or that they want to sleep with their parents even if they are 14 years old. A lot of things. But I think that this project, they are only 6 months, and and in this case, this one it ended in December. But why the showing of this presentation is because I'm critics about international cooperation in some way, and in particular in Palestine. But I think that this one is a good one in some way, if we can put. So thank you for the attention, and last things I would like to just show you the last 2 videos, and it's about a series of pictures that they are made from the same photographer, that is Mattia Cacciatori. He was there 2 months with me, and the one is about the Hamas, the 25th anniversary, that was just after the last Gaza attack. And the attack in Gaza, and the second one is about the reaction and the demonstration that also Israeli activists they did during that week.
I
But like always, I let them go. Just let them go.
Thank you for being here tonight. If you have any
So are there still questions about any of the parts of the presentation of tonight?
This summer I'm going to Gaza for a month. What advice can you give me?
So be open and just really try to talk with every person that you can find. There are a lot of young people, so you will not have problem if you don't speak Arabic in this case. And yeah, and be a good listener as well.
Do you think Hamas people are terrorists? Because you have been there. So what's your opinion about that?
Look, I personally think that Hamas, I mean, last year also there was a lot of demonstration and like people were really unhappy within Gaza, also like regarding Hamas. Hamas is still a dictatorship and there is like not freedom. They are using a lot, I think also the religion aim to keep the people in another bubble, I would say. There are a lot of people within Gaza that they are criticizing Hamas. And actually this year was for the first time that there were allowed demonstration for the Palestinian Popular Front of Fatah, and it was the first time that Leila Khaled, that she is one woman that was really strong in the resistance in the 60s, she was able to come inside Gaza and to talk in a square, two women, for since long time, and it was really, I mean, for us it's, I think it's also, yeah, normal in some way, however, also the position of the woman, there is really tough, I would say. Look, and I'm also, yes, I'm criticizing Hamas, but at the same time I think the resistance part, yeah, it's really understandable in this case, and it's really fascinating. in particular when you're living so much close to these people and you really, you really have the time to think and to, and you realize that probably if you would have been living there, you would do the same. And you would actually, the only way for them to resist against this occupation is also resisting. And then when, like there was this girl actually that was telling me, Sarah, what can I say to my brother? I was born during the first Intifada. I grew up during the second. I was facing a caste lead, and now this war. And then I have my brother that is 12 years old. That the only desire that he has in his life is being part of the Qassam brigade. And what can you? It's obviously part and a consequence of the context in which they live.
But suppose you were a Palestinian mother living on the West Bank, 10 children, yes, you say. Can you imagine that that your children are cooperating with the Israelis, to work for them in secret? Do you think a lot of people will do that in that position? You, as a Palestinian mother, you have to survive. What do you think? How people are thinking that?
I think that, there are also a lot of collaborators there.
Did you notice?
I didn't really notice, personally, but in some situation I felt that, there was something, strange, or you notice that there are some people that they have, and they also told me, I don't know if it's, but I listen a lot of stories about this, what they call them, collaborators. Then obviously I'm not going to say anything about them because I never really directly experienced such a thing.
What about the spreading of Hamas into the West?
Yeah, it was also really interesting to be there because during in particular the last attack there was a lot of demonstration within the West Bank with it was the first time since a lot that there was full of green flags of Hamas. And it's not recognized, it's not a legal party there, so, but obviously has a different name, has a different color of the flag, but at the same time the idea behind is the same. So it's still a lot of people that they are pro-Hamas, and in particular after this war.
But as I understand correctly, now there is a reconciliation process between Hamas and Fatah. Is it something that has a real perspective to succeed, or not really?
Look, it's there have going on negotiation again to try to find a common point, or to be again having an alliance. I think that now maybe it's good for them. It's also the right moment to collaborate. If you see in 2006 there was a civil war within Gaza. They killed so much people within them. It's crazy. So I think that now they have maybe more interest. It's a good moment to be strong together. In particular with the with the situation of Egypt, Morsi, and then we have the next election. I don't know, I'm just saying.
Though if I think that the play will be because Al Fatah is still getting most of the foreign aid. So I think that they will be.
But also Gaza now with Qatar, for example, there was the visit of Qatar, and a lot of Arabic country, they are actually giving them a lot of money, and it seems that they want also to create a new kind of how do you call really place with a lot of money and protection in some way from the neighbor Arab countries.
Safety net.
Yes.
I thought there would be a hard profit money.
No. I said it was also curious to find out that actually they are getting money from other Arabic countries, in particular Qatar, Dubai.
Same in Syria, same in pretty much anywhere at the moment.
A small question. I was surprised about hearing from you that in the kibbutz they were planting olive trees. You said.
Yeah.
You saw the fruits of them also.
No, they are small now. They just plant.
Because it takes many years to give fruits because all the olives
are
planted by the Palestinians, and it's a little bit funny that the Israelis are cutting all the olive trees of the Palestinians and they are planting them themselves. That's a little bit awkward.
Yes, it was really weird for me. In particular, when you go from Ramallah to the Jordan Valley, you see a lot of fields. It's like the cemetery of the olive tree that they've been cut down.
If you are lucky, you can buy them in Holland even. They are exporting, the big ones in greenhouses here.
Okay. Well, I think we should wrap it up a bit. I would like to thank all of you for being here. Just a few things. We have in the back some interesting books about Palestine. Also some nice products. Olive oil and dried tomatoes. Olives also, I think.
No, just dried tomatoes.
Oh, okay. So have a look. For Basta next week, we'll have another evening about debt.
That,
yeah,
about
maybe you want to.
It's an evening about who's guilty of debt. And we will talk it about it from different perspectives, anthropological and economical and a more personal perspective. And we want to pay more attention to debt because it's a fundamental part of our economy and how it works. But it doesn't receive a lot of attention, so that's why we organized this evening. It's in 1 week, at the same place, same time. So
there are some flyers for next week also on the table in the back there. Well, finally, I just want to thank Sarah for being here and sharing her experiences. So you get a bottle of medicine.
Yes,
because I never heard.
No, me neither. Also, yesterday, reading the book Our Hearts Breaking the Silence.
Breaking the Silence, yes, I got back from the
I actually got the book from a book presentation. I said, responsible for the initiative. And I'm going through it. It's one example yesterday was about the fishermen that they're no longer allowed that the border at 3 miles, which is strange because Israel's border is 12 miles. That is explained, but the reason behind is that 3.5 inches of the oil supply. Explain that they work really hard to get all the oil out of this because they know at some point they will have to give it up. So
you don't want to know any more.
Exactly. Which could be amazing. Oh, everyone, Joanna asked me, Joanna asked me, she had to go leave early, if I wanted to tell you that if you want to stay informed about boycott actions against Israeli products, etc., you can fill this in.
Also, one last thing, Basta is a voluntary organization, but we do spend a little bit of money. So if anybody would like to make a donation, there's a small empty, very empty bottle over there, and you are more than welcome to share.
What was